My kids are off today, speaking of education, for an administrative day. So
off
they
today?
had to work.
Hold on.
I had to work.
Wait a minute.
They had to go to school Monday, the holiday.
Oh, wait, because today's Friday, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're talking about today, Monday. I'm like, wait a minute.
Nope.
I asked you before, and you said you're okay. We're going to start over. What's up, people?
Happy Friday.
Stop
We made it.
confusing me on the days, yeah.
Today's Friday.
Yeah.
My kids are off from school today.
Sometimes I feel like when we're doing these, I feel like we're in the Matrix. Today, we're going to talk about, we wish that deposits were handled differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially now, there's really no standard. Like, we kind of have a standard in what we do, but there's no standard when it comes to deposits.
Yeah.
You could really put down any deposit you want to. You can buy a $500,000 house and put down a $2,000 deposit. You can buy $1 million house and put down a $1,000 deposit. And at the end of the day, deposits don't really mean, like, they don't mean anything.
No. I try to explain it as, like, you're putting some of your closing costs down ahead of time to show the seller you're serious.
Yeah, but, like, it's supposed to be, you know, there's some skin in the game, but again, at the end of the day,
Get it back.
you can get it back.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and then even, like, and I've had this situation where, like, you know, even if, like, something happens and you're, like, you know, if I'm on the listing side, something happens and my seller's supposed to get it back, it's still not that easy.
Right.
Like, you still gotta, like, possibly mediate for something that's written in the contract that says you do get back, you know? So I guess our point is this. We wish the amounts were standardized. Like, our standard is typically 1% of the purchase price. We just wish there were some standards. And then we wish there was actually a clear mechanism for making deposits non-refundable or at least returnable to the parties during a default. Not this whole, like, basically to get a deposit you have to mediate, and I find that completely ridiculous.
Right, there are very specific times where the contract says, unless X, Y, and Z happens, basically if you default, the other person gets the deposit.
Right.
But it should be that easy, but it isn't.
Right.
So if ahead of time you know that, hey, or maybe if you even make, like, you can make it non-refundable if you choose to.
You can, but like buyers always get really bent out of shape about it, and I'm always like, well, why? Because if you intend on buying the house,
you're not right,
and like you have your diligence periods to back out, like it's all going to your closing costs anyway.
Yeah, it's not extra.
So what's the matter? Like, why not make it refundable? I'm not saying like you don't get it back no matter what.
Right.
All I'm saying is like now that we're past diligence, it's now non-refundable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And other jurisdictions following the theme. Other jurisdictions. That's tough. Friday at 5:30 at night. Do that already. I'm just gonna blow right past that.
I wasn't gonna let you know.
I know. Other jurisdictions make their due diligence money either non-refundable or refundable based on certain criteria. Yeah. So you only get the money back if there's a structural issue. Otherwise, that $20,000 that you put down goes to the seller. If you back out for something stupid. I think it would make buyers pay more attention.
I don't think it would slow down the market. I think it would actually make things smoother. Because I think when you have a larger thing at stake, I think, one, sellers would prep houses more.
Yeah.
Right? They would be... Because let's say, if you think about it, if you have a $20,000 deposit and you're at the wire at the end of your diligence period, and there's something somewhat big, the seller, you know, like you're gonna want your money back.
Yeah.
So either the seller's gonna pony up and fix it, or you're gonna back out. So I think you know, instead of people like butting heads and holding out, because at the end of the day, you only have a $2,000 deposit.
Right.
So sometimes the buyer's like, I don't care.
Right.
Like if they don't, you know, whatever. It's $1,000, it's $2,000. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter to them. So like they just walk away.
Yeah.
So I think like holding that much money on either side, I think would keep both sides a little bit more invested in the deal.
And accountable.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And also too, I think for the buyers, putting more cash in the long term would make their purchase experience better, because it would eliminate these sort of like, let's buy a $600,000 house with $5,000 in cash.
Yeah.
Type situation.
That's a good point.
Anyway, that's our week.
We did it.
We hope that you found value
I think they did.
and education in these videos. And if you did, please like, subscribe, share,
comment,
find us on TikTok. Tell your friends. Give us referrals.
I mean, that's really the thing.
That's not what we want. We just want referrals. Give us a hug. If you see us in the street, don't.
It's still kind of COVID.
I'll take a hug if you're vaccinated.